everybody, welcome to the H.E.A.T podcast. I'm Karyn Bryant.
And I'm Pete Cummins.
And we got a lot in store for you today. We definitely need to talk about that Mayweather Pacquiao fight that went on, some of the aftermath of that. We will still kind of talk about the Jon Jones situation, because the last time we recorded a podcast, that news was just breaking. So now we can kind of think some of it has sunk in. We'll also talk a little bit about Stipe Miocic and Mark Hunt. They're fighting this weekend down in Australia and in round 5. High five.
Little high five. We're gonna talk about some of the winners that came out of the Jon Jones situation.
Okay.
It wasn't all bad news for everybody.
Didn't realize. Hey, speaking of winners, my partner and I won our tennis match again on Saturday. Bam! We won 6-4, 7-5.
A little bit closer this time.
You know what? And it shouldn't be. And the thing about it is it was really frustrating to us because we knew we were better than they are, but they played really slowly, and so like you start to kind of get like lulled into their game, and then you're like sort of hypnotized, and you kind of fall asleep for a game or two. You're like, ah, crap, they caught up, because like you know, my team, we play a much faster paced game, so we were lulled a little bit.
Ken, do I have to give you my speech about what makes a champion?
No, you don't actually, because
and
we
how
won.
a champion has others play at their pace.
No, we did.
Style.
Well, that's the way you turn around. But the hilarious thing is, I literally said to my to Robin at one point, I was like, "Oh no, this is good. This is good. We're up 2 rounds." So I was like, "Really?" I just told my partner we're up 2 rounds. We're playing tennis. Anyway, it was fun. It was fun.
You came here for the MMA, but you got the ladies' tennis circuit.
Hey, think about it like this: we're wearing short skirts and we bend over a lot. Does that help?
These guys are already on the internet. They're like 1 click away from seeing us. Stay with us, okay?
All right, listen, folks. Round 1. Okay, Jim. Now I sound like Harold Letterman. I love Harold Letterman. Okay, Jim. 3 rounds to none.
Is he constantly drinking?
I don't know. He's a lovely man, actually.
He just seems drunk.
No. Larry Charles is drunk.
Oh,
he's the only. Yeah, you don't really see Harold Letterman on that. They just go to the Herald for the unofficial scorecards, and the lamps will go. Let's go now to.
Who's
Harold.
got the guy who always has a screwed up hair?
That's Larry. That's Charles.
Who challenged Floyd Mayweather?
He's always drunk. Larry.
Larry.
Not
Larry Charles.
Larry Merchant.
Larry Merchant. Okay.
Why am I on Charles? I don't know.
Right,
Okay.
So
anyway.
my apologies to
Larry Charles is like the guy who used to write Seinfeld or something. Sorry.
Larry David.
Larry Charles.
We really need
Larry
to rewind
Merchant
this.
is the guy.
And I'm Pete Bryant.
The funny thing is, I actually used to work. So for all of you, let me just as a preemptive move. For all of you, be like, you dumb bitch, you don't know nothing about no boxing. I worked for a Showtime Championship Boxing.
That was so out of my mouth. That was going to be the next thing I was going to say.
For 3.5 years. So I do know a couple of things. Been to a couple of boxing matches. Whatever. Floyd is awesome. Okay, I get it. He's amazing at being unhittable. He's amazing at being evasive. He's gifted beyond measure in those ways.
However,
but with all the hype, with all the buildup, that's not the fight anybody wanted to see. I can't believe that. We just had a shot up there of Justin, of Team Pacquiao. Okay, our friend Justin Fortune is Pacquiao's S&C coach, so we were really rooting for him. This is not what I paid money to see. Okay. I didn't see this. We talked a lot of crap about not wanting to fight Ronda Rousey in an MMA match. Apparently, he's been training. I wanted him to engage. And listen, everyone's like, that's his game. That's his game. What do you expect? I know. But I wanted him to fight. I wanted him to fight Manny. Okay, when you got your backs against the rope, I see you're blocking punches. How about you take a risk and give a couple back?
Well, it
bummed me out.
He was not fighting for the knockout. He was fighting for the win. What pissed me off about this fight is it went exactly how I knew it was going to go.
Of course, that's why
it was
annoying.
like, man, I was, all this like fight of the century. I mean, this was like the hype of the century.
Of course.
And like the pushing down of his head, he was like. It was like they were in the back of the car on prom night.
I knew you were going to say something like that. I was like,
come on,
here we go. It's something rude coming up about a girl and a this. No, that is frustrating to me. And he's obviously, he's a bigger guy than Pac-Man, hanging all over him. That's not okay. It's not okay. I also had a major problem. I mean, listen, this whole thing, I get it. I'm watching the build-up shows. It's all about the money, Floyd. It's all about the money, money, money. I get it. But when you walk out with GD Burger King, if we have a visual of that, you got the GD Burger King walking out with you. Like, that to me is beyond wrong. It's beyond wrong. I get product placement. But the Burger King should not be walking out with you.
You know what, though?
You loved it?
No, I didn't love it, but it went both ways. First of all, Freddie Roach has a Geico headband.
It's a little more.
Jimmy Kimmel's doing a promo for his show by doing an imitation. So Jimmy Kimmel's doing a comedy sketch behind Manny Pacquiao. He's imitating Justin Bieber as a promo for his own show. So in the Burger King, like, folks, this is now a thing. There's like a little there's like a little play going on behind the guy. There's like a little Shakespeare in the Park behind the fighter. So listen, I give Floyd credit for going like, well, shit then. Just bring the Burger King.
But it's also, I'm sorry, and I get, that, yeah, we have different kinds of sponsors around this thing, but, like, you're talking about the pinnacle of, like, the sport. He's, like, in incredible shape. It's all about the fitness and the one man testing another. And you're telling me he's like, but let me throw down on a double whopper first. Come on. Come on. It's actually brilliant. It's actually so damn funny. I actually love it, but I hate it. You know what I mean? But when he walked out, I was like, you gotta be S&M me. That's the Burger King walking out with him.
But listen,
Ronald McDonald somewhere's like, God damn it!
Look at Bieber too. Come on, this is ridiculous here, dude. You can't buy street cred. You can't
Bieber.
like this. Come on, Bieber. Just because you wear your pants down, and you got a few tattoos, you can't buy street cred.
I mean, listen, we're gonna keep talking about this because this was crazy, but I applaud Manny for the effort that he put forth. I know he was actually hurt in this fight. And that he didn't get to fight with his full force here. We're going to just keep plowing through here to round two, talking about this fight. So I give him credit for that. And I feel like Manny's here. Here's our buddy Justin, who, thank whatever deity you believe in, went through a really tough year battling cancer, and I'm so thankful that he is still with us. And Freddie Roach, of course, a great trainer. Those two, Justin and Freddie used to work together, and then they kind of had a falling out, and then they got back together again. Our casting connection has stopped, but that's fine, Coach. We're going to keep moving along. Anyway, so, I know how much they had invested in this. I know how hard they worked. And so that, to me, that's the depressing part about it, is like when, you don't even really get to do everything you tried to do, and whatever. Everybody's like, well, but that's the game he played, and Manny should have figured him out. Okay, I get that. Well, but I wish he didn't have a chance. All he did was fight a guy who jabbed him and moved away. Like, there was not a lot of engagement.
Well, here's an interesting thing. We talked about Demetrius Johnson last.
Here we are in round two now,
last show. Mm-hmm. Is there a difference between Demetrius Johnson and Floyd Mayweather?
Yes.
Both are at the top of their game. Yes. Both are considered not particularly exciting fighters.
With a ridiculous 4-round lead at the last second, literally, DJ was still going for a submission. DJ still laid it out there.
That's a good
DJ
point.
did everything possible to finish the fight and everything, and left himself obviously open. If need be, he could have been counterpunched. He could have gotten taken down.
Well, here's the thing that pissed me off too. Is like, by the time the fight reached the 9th round, mm-hmm. you knew it was over.
Well, because Manny would have had a headhunt.
Right, and he would have, and it. Also, another thing is, Floyd never listed his pre-fight weight.
Yeah.
Which pissed me off, because a guy who's like, well, you got to do your drug test, right before the fight. It's like, then why don't you open up? Why don't you open up about how much larger you are than Manny Pacquiao?
Doesn't matter. Well, here's a couple of tweets. Oscar De La Hoya put, "Sorry, boxing fans. Call me old school, but I like the fans getting their money's worth by watching an action-packed fight. I'm just not into the boxing running style. I like jumping out of my seat because a fight was existing, and the fans got their money's worth." So Oscar not too pleased with that fight. I know Lorenzo Fertitta, of course, kept it short. He said, I ordered a steak and got a salad. I like that.
First of all, you know.
I love that.
You know that they love that this fight sucked.
Yes and no, though, because, that's the thing. I mean, people love to talk about boxing versus MMA, and Dana and those guys will tell you that they are boxing fans. I feel like they could help each other, but yeah, I don't know how many tweets, how many texts I got from friends that were like, F this, that's why I like the UFC so much more. It's action, it's action, it's action. And I will say, for a fight fan, when you put your money down, like say you bought a ticket to a show, you get to a UFC event, there's like anywhere from 8 to 12 fights. Right. Good fights on the card, good matchups, not like a dude fighting a can to pad his record. After having covered boxing for as long as I did, it was frustrating because there's really not great fights sometimes on the undercard. You look around and these poor guys are working, and there's nobody in the seats because nobody really cares. And I don't know, UFC definitely delivers, MMA in general delivers more entertainment value.
Well, here's the difference. Somebody asked Chris Weidman if they thought that he might have to give up the title, and Chris Weidman's like, what? I won't have fought in 9 months.
Right.
Who has to give up the title?
Right.
In 9 months. But that was a legitimate question.
Right.
In boxing, a guy can go a year and a half, and you're like, oh well, that's just a normal, layoff between fights. And
it's frustrating. It's not what it used to be. Listen, Iron Mike, we waited 5 years for that. Underwhelmed. He got into. He's not a big Floyd fan. There was some stuff before it. One thing I do want to say, there were some celebs. We had a picture of Beyonce here. She was at the show with her hubby Jay-Z. Apparently, the ticket was so expensive she could not afford a bra that night. I couldn't.
She was the price of my shirt. I'm just going to turn my seat around and watch.
What is it?
Anyway, I thought this was the best part of the fight.
Was it?
I mean, those are two things that are competing.
All I have to say is that's all about the tape. There is a lot of tape going on. It wouldn't look as sexy to you just try to get that. That thing is taped from shoulder blade to navel. But she looks good, Bae. Bae. I love how Wade just took out JC. He's like, I don't need to see that thing over there. Let's just focus on the titties. Are those okay titties?
Those are nice. Those are nice titties.
Because they look real. Do you prefer? Does it matter to you?
I like implants.
You do.
I like implants.
You do.
But I like boobs too. This is going to be cutting edge news. My guy likes the boobs. Tonight at 6. No, those are great boobs. Okay,
I'm just asking because some people might think they're too small.
Now, listen, if you jack them up a bit, would it look better? I'd have to see it.
Oh, and I'm sure Bay's standing by to offer you that view, Pete.
Really?
There was a shot of Tom Brady high-fiving Michael Jordan at the fight and stuff like that. I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. That's Brady, I guess, went to the Kentucky Derby in the day, took his private jet, took some buddies to the Derby, and then went to Vegas. Baller! Tom Brady. Living the good life. Listen, so it is what it is. I'm disappointed that Manny didn't get the win. This is big news. Supposedly, Floyd had said that if he won, he was going to bail out, that's the end around to bail out Suge Knight. It's a $10 million bail. So literally, a little while before I came over here to do the podcast with you, I was watching the news, and they had said no word yet if that was actually going to happen.
So I don't think you want to promise Suge Knight that you're going to bail him out and then renege on that. That's not really advantageous.
Suge, I think, has yet to reach that far exceeds the four walls of his cell there. So
Manny's actually trained.
Oh, yes. Well, we were saying about Justin Fortune. Justin here, who was a heavyweight contender, fought Lennox Lewis, also used to kickbox, and does train Manny to do other things. Had he, when Floyd went down to tangle with him, had he just accidentally thrown a knee, that might have been kind of great, but, he didn't get to.
So are you teasing us that Manny might be?
I don't know. I'm just saying that Manny is.
MMA?
No, I'm not saying that. It's just that he's an all-around athlete here who could actually probably throw down a little bit.
Well, I think Floyd's probably an all-around athlete.
Yes, he is. All right, round three. Listen, obviously last week was not a great week for John Jones, and when we were recording this last week, the news had just broken, and of course, it was perfectly timed. We had UFC Tonight all last week, which, by the way, I hope everybody enjoyed, because it was really fun doing it. And if you did like it, let Fox Sports 1 know, send him a tweet, send him something, say, hey, we really like having UFC Tonight on more than just once. And if it goes, it wouldn't really be on that late at night all the time. We're just trying it out. But if you liked it, please let them know.
And if you have enough room in that tweet, say, but we need high old guy too.
Yeah, nice.
Sure.
But I broke the news, that he was being stripped, and we talked about all the things that had happened to him and the repercussions, and the guy, could potentially go to jail. And it's not good. And the last thing that he tweeted was still that he had a lot of soul searching to do. That was last week. He hasn't said anything since then. Were you cool with him getting stripped of the title?
I think his soul was left in his car. He was still trying to find it. I think it was under the floor rug. I think.
So bad.
It's interesting because I think the UFC did the right thing, although that is hugely painful for them, because I'm telling you, they are in a position now to get looted. If you're Bellator, you get John Jones over there quickly.
He's not out of his contract.
Dude, you give him enough money, he's out of anything.
I don't think he could get. No, you couldn't.
Steve Ballmer paid $2 billion for the Clippers. If there's any billionaire out there and you have $2 billion, you can buy the top 20 fighters and take the league.
But that makes no sense, John. Stupid. B.
Karyn, I can see why you're in journalism. You have such a way of succinctly pointing at everything. I know you are, but what am I?
It's okay. It's the UFC. It's the top of the sport. He is the best of the best. He is pound for pound the #1 fighter on the planet. Why would you then go to the still good but B-level organization? Run through. Nobody there is going to challenge.
Why.
There's nothing. They're not going to pay you more money than you could make being the UFC champion and the endorsements that you could get from that.
Here's why. Did you like how Floyd Mayweather made $150 million? Fight for us on pay-per-view. You're going to make $20 million.
But John Jones is not the guy that's got that much love. I don't think. Who's he going to fight over there then? He can't fight a UFC caliber guy. So who's he going to fight that's good enough to be worth me putting my money down? And he's not the kind of guy that I feel like people like watching him fight. And over the course of this last week, I think we found out the kind of fans he have. I don't know that he's got a guy, that love affair with him, that they're going to go anywhere he goes. I don't know.
All I'm saying is, if I'm a Russian billionaire, I am luring the top 10 guys from the UFC and starting my own and being the dominant force. And I'm going to crush the UFC with money. I'm not a Russian billionaire.
Listen, don't get me wrong. If you said John Jones was going to fight Fedor, I would pay for it.
No,
but it's just stupid. It's not. It's
no. But see, here's the thing. When Donald Trump tried to start the USFL, there was too much of a barrier to entry.
Right.
But with a lot of money, you call up Anthony Rumble Johnson and John Jones and say, hey, how would you like a 5-year contract with us? And we're going to pay you 3 times as much. Boom.
Listen, Phil Davis left and went to Bellator. Obviously, he got a better deal over there than what he could get at the UFC, and he probably, got more promise of more opportunity. The UFC light heavyweight division is tough, and, he could probably make more strides over in Bellator. I see your point. I'm just saying, with somebody like John Jones, I don't know that that's going to happen. If anything, maybe he just won't ever fight again.
I was just making a point. For $2 billion, you could own your own league.
Okay, and there'll be no drug testing, and there'll be what? Tell me about this league, sir. Preach.
Tell me about
the high old guy
you could have it exactly like the UFC, except for the octagon. You could do a nine-agon, a non-agon, or something.
Yes.
But I'm just saying that. It could, except for a couple 5-year contract here and there, but you can say that, hey, he stripped me of my title. They've banned me indefinitely. Do you really hold me to a contract?
But they didn't ban him indefinitely. They didn't ban him indefinitely. They suspended him indefinitely. You can make amends. You can come back once you've proven you've redeemed yourself by doing these right things.
If you
these
suspend
things.
me indefinitely, you are keeping me from working in my chosen profession. So I think our contract is invalid.
Oh,
now.
so you think that you're pulling the rampage? You're basically, that's pretty much. I'm pretty much like that's kind of what, not that he was suspended or whatever, but rampage. I think that was the whole thing. It was like, well, you can't keep me from,
Right.
whatever.
Listen, I give the UFC credit though because you asked if I thought it was the right thing to do, and and with all the leeway they had shown John Jones, if they hadn't put their foot down now, no other fighter would have given them any credibility.
Right. So. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if he tries to rehabilitate, if he comes back to fight. Somebody had said he actually showed up at the gym the next day, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Here's what I don't understand. Like, where's his support team?
Yeah,
I mean, he's got 2 older brothers who are in the NFL, so like fame,
round 4,
fame and money and stuff like that's not new. So he should have a support.
Yeah.
His lawyer, his lawyer said he wouldn't want to be dealing with this right now, but he's a great guy. He's taking all this seriously. I mean, what a douchebag of a comment. I mean, listen, lawyers are notorious douchebags.
Right.
I mean, the human body is like 97% water. I think it's like 92% with a lawyer, 7% vinegar. But the point is, the guy, where's that family support team?
Yeah, I don't know. But who knows? We don't know what's going on. We don't know if they tried to help him and he shut them out, or they didn't try to help. You don't know. You know what I mean? He thought he was the king of the world. He thought he was unflappable. Yeah. He thought, you know what I mean? Obviously, all this behavior shows you a person who thinks nothing can go wrong for them.
Listen, I just want, he's not allowed back in, and he's got to become a meter maid.
Oh, jeez.
Because, you'd be like, I've already started to write your ticket. Yes, you have, sir. And put an extra 20% on for yourself. Thank you very much, Mr. Jones. No, he'd be a killer meter man.
At any rate, 2 men who still are employed by the UFC, Stipe Miocic, Mark Hunt. These guys are fighting in Australia. This one's on Fight Pass. For us, we in the States, it's an early morning. On the East Coast, I believe the fights start at 7:30 in the morning.
On the East Coast?
Yes. So it's in Australia, so 4:30 in the morning or something on Saturday out on the West Coast. It's a fun matchup. Stipe Miocic is currently ranked number 4 in the heavyweight division. Mark Hunt, number 5. Stipe coming off a close fight with Junior Sagano. Junior Dos Santos said some people thought he won. I thought it was a very, very close fight. And Mark Hunt was fighting Fabricio Verdum for the interim heavyweight title, and a big knee kind of ended that for him. Fun fight. Mark Hunt is the king of the walk-off KO. It's so badass. It's like he doesn't even have to wait for the ref. I swear to God, he knows when he connects, and he's like, and my work is done. And he walks off. He's such a badass. But Stipe is a very good boxer himself, as we saw with Junior Dos Santos. He was really sticking it to him. It should be a fun fight. I'm not sure how it goes. Mark Hunt, he's one of these guys that everybody's like, oh my God, his cardio's not great. And you look at him and, sometimes he has to drop weight to get to the limit, at heavyweight. But he's surprising. When he fought Bigfoot Silva, it's like, no way is this going 5 rounds. And of course it did. So I think he can hang in there, and he'll be emboldened by the home crowd in Australia and stuff. But Stipe's no joke. Stipe was a baseball player as well. He's just a great athlete. You know what I mean? So I feel like physically, Stipe has all the advantages in terms of natural athletic ability to outlast him. But all it takes is one punch.
I mean, I look at guys like Mark Hunt, and to me, I look at him like, you must be so tough because you're not cut.
No.
And you're just a guy who gets up off the bar stool and goes, all right, who do I gotta fight?
Totally. That's why he's so beloved. He's a guy that literally they've told the story a lot when his contract when Pride was bought and stuff, and Dana and those guys, they all wanted to just pay him out. And he was like, well, no, I don't want to just get paid out. I want to fight. And they were like, yeah, but you've been around for a little bit and it's okay. And he was like, no, F you, I want to fight. So they give him fights, and the guy, he wins some, he loses some, but he's always entertaining. You never sit there and go, crap. Can't wait till this Mark Hunt fight's over for something better. He's awesome.
And there's the opposite of Floyd Mayweather.
Yes, you always look for, because you kind of know what you're always going to get with both of them, but what you always get with him is something that's worth paying for.
I'm always intrigued by Mark Hunt's brother, Mike. There's a guy who
Welcome to fourth grade humor with Heil Guy.
There's a guy who wants to say his name as clearly as possible.
Do you want to know?
Hello, I'm Mike Hunt.
Can I tell you something?
Mike Hunt? No, Mike Hunt.
To speaking to that, the funny thing is I used to run a radio station, WBRU, when in Providence, where I went to school, and we did something, and it's so cheeky, called the Rock Hunt. And it was like a contest for bands, and you had to be very careful when you read your promos for the Rock Hunt. And we know it's funny and everything, but it was funny.
Well,
Anyway, fun fight on Saturday. I don't know who wins. I like both guys. Fun fight. What else do you want to say about Mike?
No, I was just going to say that according to Wade, somebody left in our comment section.
I didn't know where you were going. You're like talking about the C word instead of according to Wade. I'm like, hold up, hold up, just a minute.
Karyn, I've been talking to Wade. We have a little intervention. The three of us and whoever's watching out there. No, but apparently somebody accused us of having middle-aged humor.
What?
And I was like, and I told Wade, I'm like, that's the first time anyone's actually accused me of acting my own age. I was like, sort of like, wait a minute, is that okay, wait, that's an insult.
Yeah.
So middle class, so apparently we're not getting immature enough, is what I want to say.
Okay,
no.
So we talked about Beyonce's
middle-aged
boobies.
Yeah.
And we talked about the C word.
We got to get worse. We got to get worse. We got to talk about poopy. Beyonce's poopy.
Just in time. It's high five. It's all about. You take it away.
High five.
Bring us down, Pete.
All right.
Bring us down. All right. Folks, really sit back and enjoy, because I never know what he's doing, so I will be just as surprised as you. Go ahead, Pete.
All right. Well, listen. It's no secret. I like to look at the positive side of everything. So this is to honor the good that came from the Jon Jones incident. Okay. Number one is Dana White.
Yeah.
After learning about Jon Jones, Dana White broke the record for most consecutive F-bombs when he dropped 28 of them in a row before finally asking for a glass of water. The previous record had, of course, been held by Richard Nixon, who screamed 23 fucks in a row immediately after learning that the Washington Post had caught wind of Watergate. However, it should be noted that Nixon still holds the record for consecutive use of profanity when his infamous fuck shit hippie cocksuckers rant went on for 18 days in July and August of 1972. And that's how you do middle-aged humor.
I was just going to say, years, decades before our viewers were born. Anyway.
Okay, and the next record was the head of Bellator, Scott Coker.
Hey, Scott.
Yep, Scott broke the record for longest sustained dance after a car accident involving a pregnant woman when he did an impromptu cha-cha tango thing around his vacation home for nearly 30 minutes.
Terrible. By the way, Scott also just signed Melvin Gillard. That's big news.
Unfortunately, Scott's record was broken just 6 hours later by Daniel Cormier, who used his superior cardio to dance a full 12 minutes longer than Coker. So a little good.
Yeah.
And besides records being broken, there were a lot of people who came out ahead after the Jon Jones incident.
Okay.
Number one, of course, we talked about is Bellator, which will be trying to lure Jones. But listen, I have to give them credit, though, because Bellator said that they will adhere to a very strict drug policy. Apparently, athletes will be randomly tested at least 3 times in the month leading up to a fight, and that all those tests will be conducted under the watchful eye of singing great Andrea Bocelli, who for our 16-year-old listeners is just like Justin Bieber if Bieber was blind and wasn't an asshole and could sing and your aunt really, really liked him.
I was just going to say, your mom and your aunt really...
Wait, I want to thank you for the timing issue. You don't put up the picture before I hit the punch.
Come on, it's the punchline.
Listen, and while Reebok, which sponsors Jon Jones, obviously came up a loser, Reebok executive Matthew H. O'Toole did quite well because after news of Jon Jones broke, he was told to stick close, very close, to Paige Van Zandt. So he's got a...
Yeah.
First of all, doesn't that name sound made up? Matthew H. O'Toole.
Yes, it does.
That's
it
right.
does.
I'm Irish and I'm a dick. My name's O'Toole. You know?
Paige,
but that's his real name.
Paige came through UFC tonight the other day. Lovely girl. Lovely girl. Yeah, all the boys were all excited.
Well, listen.
She's cute.
It's this guy's job now. Close. Very close. But with Reebok most likely dropping their sponsorship of Jon Jones, the door was open for a bunch of other potential sponsors for Jones. Let's see who we got here. We've got, of course, well, we got Aladdin Bales Bonds. We get you out, we get you through it, you stupid fuck. We've got Hindu Kush, the best of the religious-based Kushes. Uber, because why Jon Jones continues to drive is a mystery to me.
Really, question number one.
And lastly, fanny packs. Keep your money, pipe, and weed close to you at all times. And if you are a black man in Albuquerque, might I suggest getting the palm tree fanny pack because nothing makes you look whiter. The palm tree fanny pack.
Wow.
Moving on.
Wow.
And speaking of which, another big winner is me, actually.
Really?
Yes,
How so?
yes, because I just patented the Nike pouch.
No.
That's right. This allows you to keep money, pipe, and half an ounce of Hindu Kush right in the shoe. Just do it. The Nike pouch.
Nice. You remind me, you actually left something at my house after
I
the fight
should
the other
be.
day.
Oh. Was that math formula?
It was that statistics book that you've been working on. You lost your mic and my phone just... Okay, go ahead, keep going.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Lastly, we're all breaking down here. And finally, perhaps the biggest winner of all is the number 11.
Okay.
That's right. The number made famous by Spinal Tap, whose amplifiers went to 11, is now under consideration for its very own commandment. That's right. God's law is going to 11. Thou shalt not act like an asshole once they achieve a modicum of success. There we go. Commandment
Very
number
nice.
11.
Very nice. Right on the bell, too. Well done.
Yeah, getting better with the time.
That's awesome. Yes, well, yeah. Good stuff.
You know, come on, Jon Jones.
John,
get your shit together.
really, honestly, the
Get
thing
your shit
about the
together.
driving is
It makes no sense.
Here's all you do. Hi. Here's a non-disclosure agreement that you're going to sign as my driver. You're going to make money, and you'll never tell anybody what you see in the back of my car in my limo.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, how hard is that? How hard is that?
I mean,
if you have that kind of money,
Right.
what the hell are you doing driving around town?
Oh, sorry, I do have to say, you know, one other thing, and I didn't slip it in. So anyway, last week we got a lot of views, more than usual, because of Jon Jones.
Okay.
Right. Well, Albuquerque police, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me how many so this was a tweet that the Albuquerque police put out prior to Jon Jones.
Okay.
Off-ramp to Avenida Cesar Chavez at 125 SB is now open.
Okay.
How many retweets would you say that got?
Like 3.
2.
Okay. Yeah.
2 and 1 star. Okay. Next tweet. We cannot confirm that Jon Jones was involved in an H&R traffic accident from this morning. The investigation is ongoing. Retweets?
1,100.
764.
Oh, wow, okay.
298 stars. Now you think maybe they could keep some of their followers. Go! Couple days later, eastbound Central will be reopened at Yale. Westbound will remain closed for now. How many retweets?
0.
1.
Okay.
One favorite. So the Albuquerque police enjoyed a tiny spike.
And they didn't know how to keep it.
Tiny spike. So hopefully we can keep more ourselves this week.
Well, and the funny thing about that is there's a guy on Twitter who has the handle Jon Jones, and apparently like his thing blows up anytime Jon does something.
Right.
And so, he built like thousands of followers because people don't know it's Johnny Bones is the champs, and so it's Jon Jones. And so people are like writing this guy all the time, like you should die, and this and that, and it's actually hilarious, and that it's just this random person, and he gets to be Johnny Jones.
So maybe we could do like Justin Bieber, but spell it like O-N, like J-U-S-T-O-N.
B-E-R, like when you accidentally type in something wrong in your internet and it comes up something weird because you spelled something wrong.
Interesting.
Yeah, Pete, you can think on that a little bit.
I think I've just found out a way to get myself some more followers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, pretend I'm somebody else.
Hey, Pete, since it's in advance of, instead I don't want to ask you next week if you've already failed, what are you getting your wife for Mother's Day? I want to help you. By the way, speaking of failing, this man, we ended up having the fights at my house. Because like a week ago,
They don't want to hear this.
hi, old guy says, "Oh, hey guys, you want to go to the sports bar to watch it?" Yeah, that's cool. Got to figure out what to do with our kid though. But yeah, okay, we'll work on it. All right, cool. I got 6 seats for us. It's gonna be great. Cut to like Thursday or something, or Friday. Friday, yes, it is. Because I find out, okay, cool. Somebody's taking care of the kid, and then I tell Wade that my girls are in with me, so those 2 chairs are taken. Then Pete, we get this text. Oh, there's a problem. There's only going to be standing room, so we got to make sure that these seats are taken exactly. But there's no standing room. Okay, fine. I got it with my girls. Okay, one of them can't do. Da 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 da. Cut to no joke. Okay, and Friday, I said, so wait, are we cool? Yeah, somebody's taking care of the kid because. The kid was going to go to hang out with his kids.
First off,
okay,
let me ask you people something. Would you let your kid hang out at a guy's house named Hi Old Guy? Is
our
okay?
Kid,
Bad parenting.
Our kid was going to go hang out with his kids. So it's Friday, and Wade's
who
like...
are young high guys?
Wade's like, oh yeah, no. He's texting with Pete. Pete says, I'll ask the missus. It's all good. It'll be fine. Remind me. So the next day, I see him at the tennis, and I say, oh, Pete, don't worry about it. The Munchkin's going to go to a sleepover at a friend's house, so she doesn't need to hang with your guys. That's good, because I never even asked. Wait, what?
And I actually did that, too. I turned into a Borscht comic. Hey, Karyn, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Try the matzo ball. So then, cool, yeah, I never asked.
These guys have turned off
This
now.
is 11 a.m. Fail 1. So then later on in the day, literally at like 4 o'clock after I came back from my tennis match, I get this text, call me. We got a problem with the sports bar. What the hell? 4 o'clock. Yeah, it seems like I didn't actually confirm those seats. So we have no seats at the sports bar. Mother crapper. Are you kidding me? It's 4 o'clock. The fight started
Are
like
you just going to run through the gauntlet of stupid voices?
Fail. Right? So then I'm
and then it's 6 o'clock. Karyn, how do I get to your house?
So I gotta call my girls. This one can't come. This one, all right, now, da-da-da. Then I scramble to the store to get stuff because I actually really do love entertaining and having people over. But like when I can plan
Meanwhile,
for
breaking news out of Tibet. Since Karyn told this story, another 56 people have perished.
Then we come over. Did you give us any money for the fight? Did you chip in?
Yes.
Okay.
Not only did I give you money, I led the round.
No, you did. Yes, and you did bring beer and a friend. But no, I knew he was coming. That was fine. But it was hilarious. I was like, the fail upon fail of Saturday's events was truly mind-blowing.
I believe
really.
it was all worth it as we got to enjoy one of the most overhyped fights of the century.
And I had to do all the work because then I had to put the whole meal together as opposed to going out and ordering.
And the death toll is now up to 48 since Karyn began this story. Our hearts go out to the people. Next up.
While we're busting on Pete, I wanted to show you what I have to deal with every day.
Yeah, every day. This we do the podcast. And remember rule number 11, thou shalt not act like an a-hole once you achieve a modicum of success. Live it, learn it, know it.
I can't start the podcast until somebody else gets me my coffee. It's a very small thing.
That's what we deal with here, folks. That's awesome. That is awesome. At any rate, that's real life here. Don't forget, folks, if you want tips, techniques on MMA, we're doing this series. We got some good stuff. There's Vladimir Machchenko, Frank Trigg. We do this with the guys down at Strong Sports Gym in Los Angeles, and we also have some other techniques up there as well. Go to www.mma.help. You can find the techniques there. You can also find them, on our Facebook page and stuff at MMA Heat. We do post them. So here's the deal: there's no UFC tonight this week or next, actually, unfortunately. But I do have Tough Talk, and we may or may not have somebody in from the Black Zillions and or ATT. Can't tell you because I've already seen episode 3, so I know what happens. But we will have Tough Talk, and then I'm going to Florida to see my mom. And then I'll come back, and then we'll do another podcast.
Okay, and then we have Tough Talk, and then I'm going down to Florida
What's wrong with that?
To see my mom.
See my mom. Oh yeah, well,
we thought you were going
it's
to
before
Florida.
Mother's Day. I'm going to see my mommy.
Oh, we thought you were
Going to the showroom.
We don't realize that Tough Talk's already been recorded.
Oh, well, there's that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I will be near Boca and stuff like that. I could swing by the gyms if I wanted to, but I don't know if I feel like working while I'm there.
Your mom works at the Black Zillions, right?
Yeah, is that right? Yeah, the black gym.
yeah,
There's a
she's like
Jamaican.
American.
She's a
She's like
Zillion
American
Jamaican.
top
Yeah,
thing, yeah.
no. So what are you doing this week?
Well, after you guys leave, I'm going back into my hole. I think I'll make a couple promises to friends and then break those later in the week. And then wonder why I don't have that many friends until you guys come back next Monday and allow me to take part in your podcast.
Oh, Pete, we love you. Here you go. Look at there's a
Thank you,
refill.
Wade.
Look at
Thank
that.
you.
Look at that service.
You know, people say the internet isn't stardom, but I disagree. Wade, you make a fantastic cup of coffee.
Okay, folks, if you want to follow Pete on Twitter, and really, why wouldn't you? Where can you find him?
My noogie.
As Albuquerque ABQ Police, isn't that it or whatever? ABQ.
ABQ, you're right.
It is ABQ.
It is, ABQ.
I was checking their feed. I mean, it was
Bet you don't check it anymore.
No,
you have
sure
no
don't.
idea that the South Ramp on 95 is still at one lane.
Did not know that. You can find me on Twitter at Karyn Bryant. You can find me on YouTube /Karyn Bryant. We also have MMA Heat there. You can find us on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram at KB Heat. That's it. That's the good stuff. Thanks, Pete. This was fun.
This was fun.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.